Sustainability is today's need. We are all witnessing global health crisis that is of consequence for not regarding nature. Welcome to Sustainable Living with Shilpa Reddy, powered by Planet Green Farm Natura, a new beginning to your life. As I promised to bring to you the nature's finest friends to talk about their life choices and thoughts, in this episode of CocoWorks Sustainable Star, I'm extremely excited to have the young and energetic women, the Miss India 2021 Manasa Varanasi. What an honor, and I'm so excited that you're on my show. Hearty congratulations to you to begin with. And if I'm not wrong, you're the first title winner from Hyderabad who got us so much pride and respect on the national platform.
Thank you so much. It's an honor for me to be meeting you. I've been following your journey since the longest time.
You must be a child.
Oh no, but I love all the content that you put up on social media, and it's just so diverse. There's travel, fashion, sustainable living, recipes, and what do you not do?
Thank you so much for saying that. So, to begin with, you studied engineering.
Yes.
You worked as a finance analyst,
Yes.
then winning a title to addressing many social causes. How did it all begin for Manasa?
I think it all began from a place of curiosity.
Okay.
I was always a very curious child. And as much as I loved studying, engineering was a logical path because science was my favorite subject back in school.
God. Oh my God. Okay.
But I knew that I wanted to do a lot more than just study and restrict myself to the traditional path
Right.
to success. I always wanted to do something much bigger than myself.
Okay.
And so while engineering helped me nurture my logical side, fashion helped me nurture my creative side.
Okay.
And also overcome my shyness, because in fashion there's so much camera, there's so much lights around, and you're forced to step out of that comfort zone and be around and express yourself a certain way, right?
Right.
And so fashion and engineering were a balance of the two.
Okay.
Coming to social causes, I think deep down I've always been connected to the idea of loving the world around me.
Okay.
And just being my best and in sync with my surroundings. And so when I was studying engineering as well, I started working with this NGO called Make a Difference,
Okay.
where we used to go to shelter homes across Hyderabad and teach English on Sundays.
Oh, that's so nice.
Now there's no stopping me.
Fabulous. So you stayed true to your heart and then did what you wanted to do. That's so fabulous.
Thank you.
So when you say fashion, I'm a fashion designer too, and this ate me up for the longest time. But having said that, fast fashion is something which is contributing to the pollution, one of the major causes for pollution on the planet.
Right.
What is your opinion, or how do you think that sustainable fashion can come into the mainstream?
I think very much like you said, fast fashion is one of the biggest contributors to industrial pollution.
Right.
And when it comes to sustainable fashion, I think we as human beings, as individuals, the one word that comes to my mind is our conscience. How conscious are we when we take our decisions?
Right.
The questions that we ask before any product that we buy: where is this coming from? Where is it going?
Right.
How is it made?
Right.
All these little questions help us make the right decisions.
Right.
Right? And I think when it comes to sustainable fashion, our country is in fact such a big propagator of sustainable fashion, especially when we look back at our history, right?
Correct. We didn't do anything that was unsustainable.
Yes, absolutely. Right from our traditional practice of eating from a banana leaf
Right.
to bucket water baths.
True.
And
And woven fabrics.
absolutely, handloom textiles, natural dyes.
Right.
I think in a way, by embracing our heritage and our culture, we are automatically, again, promoting sustainable fashion.
So well said. I totally agree to what you're saying. So it's like ask yourself questions, and
Yes.
once everyone does that, I think we can bring sustainable fashion into the mainstream.
Absolutely.
So the pandemic. So the pandemic has made every one of us to stop, look back at our actions, the way we were living, the way we were eating, the way we were spending, and so much more. Do you see that there has been a difference in people's mindsets post that? And how did it impact you? And Are there any changes that you made post-pandemic?
Speaking of the pandemic, yes, it was a very big wake-up call, right?
Right.
For the
Huh.
world, for everybody around us, because each of us was directly or indirectly affected by this
Right.
virus.
Absolutely.
And it all made us take a pause and reconsider all our life choices and focus on what truly matters,
Absolutely.
which is our health and our ability to help everybody around us. And so, as far as lifestyle choices are concerned, I have become more focused on making decisions that nourish my mental and physical health.
Okay.
And apart from that, I think another big learning from the pandemic is minimalism.
Okay.
Because during the lockdown, I was literally living on 3 pairs of clothes,
Okay.
books, and essentials.
And did you
This
realize you really didn't feel the need to have more,
yes,
right?
exactly.
Yeah. So minimalism is something that you adopted along with
Yes.
questioning where everything is coming from.
Yes.
That's nice. Did you see any changes around you, like people making different changes post that?
I do think that there's a magnified sense of one gratitude for all that we have around us.
True, very
So
true.
much to be grateful for, huge token of gratitude, and also compassion. You know, we've all realized that deep down, we're all interconnected, we're all the same, we're all trying to lead our best lives,
Right.
regardless of where we come from, regardless of our age, race, religion, etc.
Right.
It's the sense of humanity that connects all of us.
Right. Yeah, that's been instigated or triggered, I think. Right. You're right.
Absolutely.
Very right about that. So I'm going to talk a little more about sustainability because you're on Sustainable Living with Shilpa.
Yes.
So after pandemic again, it has become important for every household to see how to live more sustainably, how to reduce, reuse, recycle, and also for a lot of businesses, they have kind of looked at the practices they have in place. So even businesses have started looking at becoming a little more sustainable than before. So as a current national representative of women, like what would you contribute to this sustainable space?
I do believe that sustainability is a lifestyle, right? It's about what we can do in our lives
Right.
to give ourselves a happy life, and not just ourselves, but also our future generations.
Right.
That's what sustainability is all about. And as far as I am concerned, I do feel more responsible as a Miss India.
Right.
There's a lot of responsibility that comes with this crown, and I'm grateful for all of it. And in order to really, my focus has mostly been on causes concerning children, but I do wish to use my social media to highlight
Exactly.
more sustainability.
That's all I wanted to hear
Yes.
because people are looking at you, people are watching you. So what I advocate, I
Yes.
want you to say it in some way or the other on your social media platforms
Absolutely.
because that's the need of the
In fact,
hour.
there's so many tips that I take from you and your
Oh.
social media. And I
Okay,
remember
thank you.
trying your banana jam recipe.
Oh, you did? Oh, I'm so happy to hear that.
You are setting an example, and in fact, I am very inspired by you. So,
Thank you for saying that.
sustainability is the way to go.
Yes, and you please use your social media platform to advocate all about it.
Absolutely.
So, I heard you are a classical singer and a dancer. That is fabulous, and I have high regards for people who take up our art forms because the glory, the vibrancy, the spirituality that is attached to our art forms is incredible. Tell me, what did those art forms teach you, and how did they impact you?
I started learning Bharatnatyam and Sangeetam back when I was in first standard.
Oh wow!
And so it's been a while.
Huh.
I learned Bharatnatyam for 8 years.
That's
Sangeet,
not a small amount of time. That's many years. That's beautiful. Huh.
yes,
Bharatanatyam and
Sangeet,
Karnataka?
yes,
Yeah,
Carnatic
Carnatic
music.
music. Okay.
For 4 years, that was for 4 years,
Okay.
and it's been a long while.
Huh.
But I still feel very connected to the art forms because I think that you can see Bharatnatyam in the way I walk, the way I talk, in my body mannerisms is just everywhere.
Okay.
And I think the best part, as you said about our Indian art forms, is that they center around discipline, grace, and balance.
Absolutely.
And I feel that it's contributed to my persona in that
Wow.
way.
Yeah.
And Carnatic music, well, vibrations,
Right.
right? The divine vibrations.
Absolutely. Yes.
And I loved your song as well, and so you know exactly what I'm talking about when we say divine vibrations and that connect
Right.
that we feel.
I'm so happy you feel that. Yeah, that's beautiful. And tell me, how do we retain the glory of our art forms so they become more appealing to the future generation? Because I don't think as many people are learning classical art forms, you know, if you see and
Right.
compare to a decade ago. So,
True.
what would you say, or how would you contribute to this?
I think the best way to do this is by constantly talking about how important it is to not only safeguard and protect our rich culture, but also the kind of benefits that it brings to our life.
Exactly. Absolutely.
Right. Our
Right.
lifestyle is, there's just so much balance that it brings. We feel more connected with nature, with people around us.
Right.
And the best part about our Indian art forms is that they're all rooted in values, strong values about loving nature, loving our environment, loving our family, the human beings around us. And
Yeah.
so, in a modern, technologically advanced world,
Right.
these art
Exactly.
forms will keep us grounded.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
So even I keep saying it's like mathematical precision in the art form. Every raga is
Yes.
has a number. You know, it's mathematically very precise,
Yes.
and that precision has a impact on us. So as you said, you have to rephrase the whole thing to make it sound very technical and scientific. I guess that's bang on. And yoga, I heard that you practice yoga as well. It's not just a physical, exercise. I'm sure you know that, and has multiple benefits, for a human well-being. So, what was your experience with yoga?
I started yoga 2 years ago,
Okay,
and I can very safely and happily say that it's changed my life
okay,
because it's all about the connect, right, between your mind, body, and soul.
right.
And especially in today's world when there's so much anxiety, there's mental health issues and just a lot of stress around us, activities and practices like yoga will again help us balance ourselves.
Very true.
And you know that feeling after an intense yoga session where you're just lying down in shavasana?
There's a best feeling, right?
Nothing compares to that feeling.
Right. No, I think as you rightly said, for this fast-paced life,
Yeah.
yoga can just be like a cheap psychiatry.
Oh yeah, that's the perfect way to describe it.
Women empowerment. So, do you think winning a title or some kind of awards or accolades, can women push this onto another level or contribute to empower women in some way or the other?
Absolutely. I think for me, women empowerment translates to freedom. The kind of freedom and agency that every woman has over her own life, decisions about her education, her profession, her life partner, everything around her, she deserves that kind of freedom to choose for herself. And so that's what women empowerment is to me. And as far as titles and accolades are concerned, I do believe that they help push women because for the longest time women have been kept private in
Right,
their households and all their hard work and their sacrifices, they don't make it out in the open.
right.
But such public celebrations of women and such titles, in fact, inspire other women around us and show them that there's actually so much that we can achieve. We have so much potential.
Right.
And so it is important to publicly celebrate women, but at the same time, it's also important to realize that you don't always need a title to feel empowered because there's so many opportunities around us, and
Correct.
if you grab the right one and make the best use of it, then you can lead your best life.
So, when you won the title, what was the immediate responsibility that you felt from within?
Huge responsibility. I remember right after the crown was placed on my head, I thought, wow, here is a chance, here is an opportunity to represent India at an international platform, and it gave me goosebumps thinking, here's a chance
Right.
to show what we stand for, what our culture stands for, the beauty of our traditions.
Right.
And so I think I feel responsibility from two ends. One is showcasing our
Okay.
beautiful country in the best way, and the other is my personal responsibility as a Miss India, which is what are the messages that I'm sending out? What are the ideas that I'm trying to show to people so that they can learn from me?
Right.
And I think the best part about this title is that as much as I'm trying to teach, there's so much more that I'm learning from
Oh,
everybody around me. And I'm just so
absolutely.
grateful for this opportunity.
Does it pressurize you or just makes you feel more happy and meaningful?
a little bit pressure is good,
Okay.
especially when you are in command of that pressure.
Right. Yes.
But otherwise, I think right now I feel more grateful, more excited than pressure. I know it's slowly going to build up. Time is flying and we're getting closer to the date.
Or the Miss World, right?
Yes, the Miss World date.
So, Manasa, I would like to know more about your childhood, and have there been any instances or situations that shaped you the way you are today?
I was born
Okay.
in Hyderabad, but
Okay.
my father was working there.
Okay.
And so I studied in Kuala Lumpur right from first standard to 10th standard.
Okay.
But although I was in a different country, I never really felt like I was away from India.
Okay.
Because we lived in an Indian community and I went to an Indian school.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, and it was funny because my school hymn book as well, we had one song from every state in India.
Oh,
And we were expected to learn every song in every language.
wow, that's
And
fabulous.
yes,
I don't think we have that here. I think we should try and bring that. That's beautiful.
totally, we should. And it used to be so interesting because we never knew which song would be selected
Okay.
in the assembly. And so whichever song is picked, we're all expected to sing that song in that language every day. It was a fun culture and just the atmosphere, right, to promote India and to not forget
Right.
our roots. I think
Right.
that's exactly what the school made me feel.
Okay.
And every Indian festival was always celebrated with so much enthusiasm and so I never really felt like I was away. But since we're talking about how I was as a child, I was very shy
Okay.
and also very curious.
Huh.
Shy in the sense that I wouldn't talk to many people,
Oh,
and
you look at you now.
it's been quite a ride.
Okay. A lot of work
Oh
has been
yes, a
done.
lot of
I see
pushing,
that.
a lot of pushing. Push yourself to be on stage. Push yourself to stand in front of that camera and talk.
Very nice. Okay.
And curious. I loved asking questions.
Okay.
And I think I wanted to learn how to drive a car even before I could ride a cycle.
Okay.
I wanted to know what it was like to jump into that deep end of the pool
Oh,
and
okay. Things like that.
things like that.
Okay.
And so I believe that my childhood was very sweet and close knit. I was in my comfortable little shell with my family, loved ones.
Okay.
We used to love spending our time watching sports together. My
Okay.
dad would always pick one team while my mom, my sister, and I were on the other side.
Oh.
Always, always the case. And I think it's little things like these which kept me in a protected bubble. And it wasn't until I shifted back to Hyderabad that I saw this whole different side of life because here it felt like I was pushed into a bullet train.
Oh, okay. From how your childhood was to now.
Yeah, it was
Okay.
all slow. You know how they say artu partu chadukodam?
Yeah, yeah,
That's how it
yeah.
was.
Oh, okay.
And here I joined Fiji, preparing for IIT JEE, all these voices around me, and so it was quite intimidating.
Okay. But
But
you're doing great. Absolutely great. Not just great.
it's funny because now when you look back at that moment, you think, what was I even fussing about? What was I so scared about?
So I think that you broke that boundary for yourself,
Yes.
right?
And I really hope that every student feels this way because there's so much pressure, right, put on them
Yes,
from a
yes.
very young age that you have to achieve this, you have to achieve that, get this grade, make everybody proud, but there's no fixed defined path.
Right. I heard that you're very good at academics and you're a studious child. So after winning the title, are you more drawn towards media entertainment industry or economic business industry? Since you are also a finance analyst, I'm just asking you this question.
I was a little bit of a geek back in school.
Okay.
I love to study. My chemistry teacher was my favorite.
Really? Wow. Okay, we're poles apart.
And so I did enjoy studying.
Huh.
But as I'd mentioned a little earlier, I love being curious. I love putting my finger in everything around me.
Right.
And so as far as media, entertainment, movies is concerned, I am fascinated by the art of filmmaking. There's just so
Right.
much beauty, technicality to it.
True.
And I would love to learn as much as I can. And so I don't think this is very much about me wanting to be an actor, but this is about me wanting to take up every interesting opportunity that comes to me.
Absolutely, yeah.
Because I think life is best lived when you experience everything that it has to offer,
I
right?
can't agree more.
And so it's all about the experiences rather than the glory or the objects or everything else that is traditionally defined as success.
You've addressed many social causes. Which one is close to your heart and why?
The biggest social cause has to be safety and equity of children.
So that's your 1098. So let's
Yes.
talk about that.
The thing about this topic is I know where to start, but I can just go on and on and on because of everything that I've been learning since the past 3 months. My journey with children, of course, as you know, started back in engineering when I
Right.
used to work with Make a Difference. It was that very idea which drove me towards Miss India. Because here is a platform which can give you a set of tools, a
Right.
set of resources which can help you magnify the work that you're doing. And so it was only logical that with Miss India, I wanted my Beauty with a Purpose project to be about children
Okay.
and about protecting them and about helping them lead their best life. And so 1098, as you know, my project name is,
Okay.
not many people know that it is in fact the child care helpline of this country.
I didn't know it either.
Yes, and that's exactly why more and more people need to know about it. Because here is a toll free 24-hour service
Okay.
which is dedicated to the cause of protecting children in any kind of distress.
Okay.
And so, as far as my project is concerned, there are three pillars to it.
Okay.
The first pillar of this project is raising awareness about 1098. Because not many people know that it is actually the child care helpline of our country.
Me neither.
Well, today you learned,
Yes.
and I hope many more people learn this because they are dedicated to rescuing children 24 hours, and it's a toll-free service. And
Wow.
so we need more people knowing about this. And I'm just grateful to the Hyderabad City Police for helping me with this because through their channels, I've been able to raise awareness
Okay.
about this number at traffic signals across our city.
Wow.
So thank you, Hyderabad City Police. So the second pillar is about child response vehicles.
Okay.
Because as important as it is to have a helpline, it is equally important to empower the rescue workers to meet these children on time and rescue them because most of these cases are very time sensitive.
Right.
Every second counts.
True.
Whether it's a child that needs to be rescued from child marriage, child labor, children who've been orphaned, abandoned, all of them need immediate attention.
Correct.
And so we've managed to procure a few vehicles so
Oh,
far
wow.
for the Child Welfare Department, although we have a longer way to go.
So this is only for Hyderabad as of now.
This
The
is for our
procurement.
state.
Oh, for the entire state. Oh, wow.
And
That's huge.
yes,
Okay.
the aim is to ensure that every district in Telangana
Wow.
has this vehicle to meet children on time.
This is brilliant. Yes. So that's the second pillar. Now I'm interested to hear all about your third pillar.
In fact, speaking of the second pillar, if there's any corporate or any individual who would love to contribute and support this campaign, please reach out to us on social media. We will be forever grateful to you. Well, the third pillar is mostly just about rehabilitation
Okay.
because every case is different. And so while we do have a system set up, a government system set up to help provide care for the child after they are rescued, I think there's so much more that we can do with respect to doing our bit in supporting their education, their financial needs,
Right.
right? And so this is about 1098.
Wow. You have really thought a lot about this and then I think paved a beautiful structure to make it all possible. So 1098 is the child rescue number,
Yes.
National Child Rescue Number.
Yes.
Fabulous. I'm so proud that you're doing this. I think it's the need of the hour. And also, I think from what you mentioned off the record, that after pandemic, these cases of child abuse, violence has gone up, shot up quite a bit. Is that right?
Absolutely. In fact, I read that in Telangana itself, there was a 27% increase in child marriages.
27%.
Yes.
That's a huge percentage.
Yes, and of course, this is across the country because of pandemic-induced poverty, right? There's been loss of livelihoods, a lot of challenges, schools shut down,
Correct.
and this makes children very vulnerable.
And they're the future generation, unless you nurture
Exactly.
the future generation, you will not have a great nation, right? Wow.
Absolutely. Yes.
Wow, that's heavy. On a lighter note, I'll take you back to sustainable living with Shilpa Reddy. So, Manasa, according to you, what three changes can every household comfortably bring into their lives to, steer or drive their lifestyle towards sustainability?
The first thing that I can think of is plastic bags. Almost all households have plastic bags, and we must limit its entry and its exit
Right.
from our houses.
So, auditing, basically.
Yes.
Okay, that's
And
one.
if we also have to talk a little bit about how we can do that, something as simple as carrying our own bags to
Right.
our supermarkets and our grocery stores. And my sister did this very interesting thing
Okay.
last week during Varalakshmi Ratham.
Okay.
My mom was in fact getting all these plastic bags to give away to the guests
Right.
for tambulam.
Yes.
And my sister said, "No, ma, this is not acceptable." And so she spent 2 hours making all these bags out of newspaper.
How sweet.
Yes.
I want to meet your sister.
She's the best.
Okay.
In fact, she also inspires me to live a sustainable lifestyle. There's so much that I learn from her.
She's older to you?
She's
or
younger to me.
Younger to you. Okay. Wow. Okay, so she used to make these beautiful bags out of newspaper. Okay, that's brilliant.
Yes. Number one. Number two is menstrual cups.
Okay.
Because on an average, every woman uses about 16,000 sanitary pads in her lifetime. That sums up to billions and
True.
billions of pads which are created every year. And so one of the biggest and simplest steps that we can take is switching to the sustainable menstrual cup.
Right.
Because in the process, we're not only saving our money, but we're also saving the planet.
In a huge way.
Yes.
Right. Yeah, I'm glad you spoke about it. I've recently made a post also talking about menstrual cups.
Yes.
And I feel it's like a revolutionary thing.
Absolutely.
Like
Yeah.
every woman should embrace that for themselves and for the environment. So okay, plastic auditing in and out, menstrual cup,
Yes.
and the third one.
Third one has to be minimalism.
Ah, okay.
I
Right.
think, especially in cases where, we have a culture of buying and buying and buying more.
Right.
But are we questioning it? Are we questioning if we really need it? Or if we're just buying it for the sake of buying it?
Right.
I think just practicing this question before everything that enters the house will be a great way to lead a minimalistic lifestyle,
Right.
which is sustainable for the planet.
Fabulous. Yeah, I think these are very important, and I love the menstrual cup part because that's something makes a huge difference. A simple change, but
Yes.
it can go a long, long way.
And I think the thing about menstrual cup is that there is a little bit of hesitation that happens,
Right.
right? Because unlike a sanitary pad, which is easily usable,
Right.
I think more people need to slowly get comfortable
Right.
with the idea.
There's some amazing YouTube videos which makes things very clear. So I think
Yes.
that's a start. That's where they can start learning how to use.
Absolutely.
And after that, I think it's just beautiful.
Totally.
So Manasa, I've seen you post a lot of pictures of plants, leaves, flowers, like a lot of nature pictures. Are you a nature lover? I'm sure you're a nature lover, but
Big
did you
time.
try gardening or growing your food or anything of that sort?
Gardening and growing, I haven't done too much myself, but I do live with my mama,
Okay.
who is a big time nature lover, very much like myself.
Okay.
And so during the lockdown, we did do a little bit of gardening together.
Oh, nice.
And I love spending every morning in our balcony, talking to the plants, being by myself, peace.
Yeah, I love the point where it said talking to the plants. I think few years back I would be like a little hesitant to say I talk to the plants and I hug a plant or a tree, but then now I openly say because they reciprocate. There's an energy that we can exchange
Yes.
when you speak and when you touch and when you embrace a tree or a plant. I'm glad you said that.
I have a question to ask you.
Oh my God. Okay, fine, please.
I would love to know about your spiritual journey, where it started and its evolution.
So I tell people that we are spiritual beings having a human experience and not human beings having a spiritual experience.
Beautiful.
If
Yeah.
that comes into your perspective, spirituality is not a struggle. It's intrinsic to who we are and it's within us. It's all about just honing your skills, becoming more conscious, and enhancing your positive emotions and positive chemistry that happens within you.
Right.
So, why I'm saying positive chemistry is like India is the only country which has decoded how to create that positive chemistry within you through different yogic practices. Yogic practices
Yes.
are nothing but a science that we discovered to keep our body, mind, emotions in a certain kind of balance, wherein negative emotions like jealousy, hate, pessimism, or laziness that doesn't creep in. So
Yeah.
basically, this is a science wherein you can manage the chemistry within you to just propel and become the person who you are. So spirituality is nothing but just enhancing yourself to be a certain way, which will only benefit your well-being and well-being around you and for people, animals, every life form around you. So yeah, I don't want to make spirituality sound like it's a task or it's only for somebody who sits in front of God or closes their eyes. It's just constantly wanting to better yourself. So that has been my spiritual journey.
Beautiful. Oh my God, this actually leads me to another question. I have to ask you this.
Okay, it's all
And
about you, I thought.
no, this is a very important one because
Okay.
this is the finale question I was asked on the stage of Miss India.
Okay, go ahead. Oh my God. Go for it.
What is the difference between religion and spirituality?
Huh.
Do you consider yourself to be a more religious person or a more spiritual person?
So religion is very rigid.
Yes.
Like we just have that book. Every religion has that book,
Yes.
which we go by, and it's never been amended to the changing times.
Right.
So that is like a belief system. When you start believing something, you are closing the doors to explore some other dimensions. So you're already made to sit in a box and say this is what you have to believe. So there is no scope for your mind to like open up and try to touch dimensions that you've never experienced before. But spirituality is not like that. It is just you are waiting to connect and connect with the universe. You're not followed or you're not in the box of set rules or what's written in those religious books. So religion is a very limited possibility, wherein spirituality is one with the universe. So definitely I'm a spiritual person. Having said that, I like rituals and culture that religions have given us to go towards spirituality, but never the belief systems which will only limit you to think a certain way and doesn't give the freedom for you to explore and expand like the universe expands.
Wow. Winning answer right there.
I don't know.
I have another question for you,
Okay.
which is what is the funniest thing about you?
I'm a goof. I think people who spend a lot of time around me, they will be in shock for a couple of days. Like when I just leave these raw, rustic one-liners and I start using my voice to modulate, and I'll never say, okay, so Manasa said this. So I will get into your character and use your voice and say it in a direct speech as to how you said it.
Oh, wow.
And all the one-liners. And when I speak my typical Telangana, Telugu, it is quite rustic, and people find it very amusing to hear me speak that. But I don't think I'm going to speak that now.
Very safe.
Not on the
Very safe.
show.
I was just about to ask you that, and you
Hodu.
very conveniently.
No. I have a reputation. I think we are done with your questions for me now. So finally,
Yes.
we ask this question, not question, but we ask our guests to kind of make a resolution, being on my show, that they can follow for the rest of their lives, wanting to or steering towards sustainable living or sustainable choice or whatever you want to call it. Do you want to make a resolution that is sustainable, that you would follow from this point on for the rest of your life?
Absolutely. Let's take the oath.
Okay, oath. What would that be?
I have been following this to a certain extent,
Okay.
which is I always carry a bag inside my bag.
Okay.
And so, along with that, I'm going to add something else, which is I promise to always carry a spare bag and a wooden spoon and fork in my bag.
Oh, that's nice.
Yes.
Yeah, so doable. Guys, I think we all can do
Yes.
this. Brilliant. So we have a rapid choice round before we end this. So, do you
Shoot.
like mountains or beaches?
This is a tough one, but I am going with the mountains because I'm going to a beach later this year.
Okay. Grasslands or forests?
Forests,
Caves or valleys?
valleys. Just love
But-
the sound of valleys.
Birds or animals?
Parrots who come to my window every morning in Mumbai.
Oh, you do?
And so I love birds, but I love animals too. And in fact, if God granted me one wish, it would be I wish I could talk to animals.
Plant or a tree?
Well, I think they're both the same. They just have different stages. And so I think choosing one will mean choosing the other because it's all about the circle of life.
You're talking like a Miss India now. No, but well said. Water, fire.
A mix of both. And I fall exactly between Aries and Pisces,
Okay.
which is that perfect mix,
Right.
fire and water.
Okay, but I don't think I had any guest answering questions like the way you are doing, so I'm fascinated. Sun or moon?
I'm going to go with the sun because I am a big time sunset lover.
Okay. Roses or lilies?
Roses.
Okay.
Yes.
Fruits or veggies?
Fruits because I can eat them raw.
Oh, that's a good one. Farming or gardening?
Gardening,
A river or ocean?
the ocean
Ocean.
because of the grandness that it stands for.
Okay.
It's both scary and fascinating at the
Right.
same time.
Rain or snow?
I'm going to go with snow because I've never experienced snow and I really want to experience snow.
Biking or trekking?
Trekking,
Okay. Camp or a cottage?
camping. I'm an earth child.
Okay. House or a farmhouse?
I've always wanted to live in a farmhouse, but I don't think, maybe once I retire, I do look at myself shifting and sort of spending all my life in a farmhouse.
Wow.
But for the next few years, I'm focused.
No, you have a lot of responsibility
Yes,
on your
a
shoulder.
lot of
You can't sit in a
responsibilities.
farmhouse and chill. City or a village?
I'm going to go with a city because I've lived in a city all my life and I love the city lights
Okay.
at night.
Skydiving or scuba diving?
I'm going to pick skydiving.
Okay, there you
That
go.
liberating feeling.
Summer
No
or
pressure.
winter?
Summer.
Okay.
Any day.
Oh yeah. Salad or a smoothie?
Smoothie.
I think. Thank you.
Same thing.
That was fun, but I think you have answered this round like nobody ever did. So
Oh, yeah?
I'm glad, I'm happy. So we have a beautiful hamper that we put together from Sustain Cart.
Thank you.
Thank you for being on my show and thank you for inspiring and keep doing the great work you started off and I'm sure you'll do fabulous. Wishing you a lot of success, a lot of love to come in different forms to you and may you be the light for a lot of other women as well.
Thank you so much.
Thank
It was a huge honor coming here and
pleasure is mine.
you don't know this, but you've been my woman crush for a long time. So thank you for having me. It was so much fun today and I wish you all the best too. Please keep in touch.
Thank you, for sure. Hope you all enjoyed this fun episode with Manasa. See you all next week. Do subscribe to my channel. Until then, signing off, Shilpa Reddy.